Jujutsu Kaisen's main villain group, the Disaster Curses, are without a doubt the best villains in the verse. What, you don't believe me? Take a look at the other options. He's slaughtered, he's homeless, he's a binding vow merchant, and he's just plain freaky. But seriously, the Disaster Curses are some of the best written characters in the manga, and while each curse didn't receive the same amount of love, their group identity and purpose as a whole is a testament to some twisted form of anthropomorphism, becoming human by eradicating humans. And it's safe to say that they're pretty strong. In fact, I've personally devised a way in which the Disaster Curses can take down the one and only Toji Fushiguro, the ghost of the Zenin clan. So without further ado, let's dive into the Disaster Curses and understand why the downplay needs to stop. First, let's briefly cover each of the Disaster Curses and their abilities. Hanami represents the detestation nature has for humans and their constant degradation and abuse of the environment. Some of her strongest characteristics are her durability and curse technique. During the Kyoto Exchange arc in the battle against Todo and Yuji, Hanami took on a plethora of heavy attacks, as well as being struck by special grade curse tool Playful Cloud, as well as 5 black flashes from Itadori Yuji, who has heightened strength, speed, and durability. And she still had energy for more fighting. She's by far the most durable Disaster Curse, as even somebody as strong as Jogo would have died instantly from those same attacks. Her main curse technique involves plant manipulation, controlling and manifesting cursed plants with special properties. Examples of this are wood manipulation, akin to Hashirama or Yamato from Naruto, cursed buds that feed off of cursed energy, and illusion manipulation. Hanami also has the capability to unleash a domain expansion, namely Ceremonial Sea of Light. While it's not shown in the source manga, this domain expansion siphons energy from nearby fauna to stockpile a souped-up solar beam from Hanami's left shoulder. Given that this beam is a can't-miss attack, it's safe to say that characters without a domain counter are cooked. Next, we'll move on to Dagon. Dagon is a manifestation of humanity's fear of the sea and its creatures. While we've seen him in his cute form in the beginning, Dagon transforms into his true form during the Shibuya arc. Dagon's preliminary form was simply a cocoon of sorts, and once Dagon slurped up Shibuya citizens like soba, man, try saying that 5 times fast. He was ready to emerge. Dagon utilizes water manipulation, unleashing water currents out of thin air that are stronger and fiercer than Megumi's Max Elephant. Against ordinary sorcerers, this would have simply eviscerated them from sheer force and pressure alone. His durability is also quite impressive, as he took on multiple attacks from Naobito Zenin's projection sorcery, as well as Maki's curse tool and Nanami's 7-to-3 ratio strikes. However, against an opponent like Toji, using Playful Cloud, his durability faltered. Dagon's strengths lie in stamina and attack potency, being able to unleash a flurry of attacks at a seemingly unstoppable rate. Even Nanami reflected that it seemed like he had infinite HP. During the Shibuya arc, Dagon unleashed his domain and directed 70% of the power to Naobito and 30% of it to Nanami. Even with splitting his power, he was easily able to shred through Nanami and sent Naobito flying before mutilating his arm. Not to mention, he was also fending off Megumi's domain battle in the process, which really shows just how much stamina he is able to use. But his true forte lies within his domain expansion, Horizon of the Captivating Skandha. Inside of Dagon's domain, he is able to summon an endless amount of fish and aquatic Shikigami. However, these creatures don't actually exist until they've attacked, meaning that it is nearly impossible to block or fight these Shikigami without a domain counter like Falling Blossom Emotion. Even more so, Dagon can still move freely in the domain. Not only do opponents have to ward off the endless swarm of Shikigami, but they also must fend off a strengthened Dagon. Inside of his domain, if not for the intrusion of Toji Fushiguro, Dagon would have eradicated Maki, Megumi, Naobito, who's a special grade 1 sorcerer, and Nanami, a first grade sorcerer. Realistically, anyone outside of special grade except for Toji is getting put on a t-shirt inside of this domain, and it's not even funny. Now, you can obviously tell that Dagon is my favorite cursed spirit, but after my yap fest about him, you'd probably think he's the strongest, right? No, absolutely not. In a mere 3-second exchange after the death of Dagon, Nanami and Naobito immediately realized that Jogo was leagues stronger. So let's go through a couple key facts about Jogo. He's able to speed blitz Maki and Nanami, and keep up with Naobito, who is the fastest sorcerer outside of Gojo Satoru. However, Naobito was weakened, so we'll give him that. Even though he couldn't lay a finger on 15-finger Sukuna, Sukuna did admit that he was one of the stronger opponents that he had faced. Jogo's level is around 4 fingers to 8 fingers in terms of Sukuna's strength as well. In terms of durability, he took numerous blows from Gojo's blue technique, the same attacks that Yuta and Hikari, a special grade and theorized grade 1 sorcerer, threw up against. He took Gojo's red to the face, which has at least double the cursed energy output as blue, without taking much damage. His regeneration ability and overall cursed energy cap is relatively high as well. Realistically, Jogo only gets downplayed because of his horrible matchups against the 2 strongest sorcerers of all time. but given his feats, he's probably capable of defeating anyone grade 1 or below. And that's not even talking about his techniques, so let's speedrun those. Disaster Flames allow Jogo to have full control in summoning of flames and fire, including earth manipulation to create large volcanoes that shoot burning flames and lava at his enemies. Ember Insects are flying little insect curses that he can use to propel himself in the air or bombard the enemy, as the insects explode on impact. Maximum Meteor is Jogo's maximum technique. Jogo's curse technique has been polished to the point that he's achieved a maximum technique, creating a monumental blazing meteor capable of leveling cities. And finally, his domain expansion, Coffin of the Iron Mountain. It involves scalding heat that would instantly incinerate any opponent caught inside. Wow, this guy is something else. Jogo might just be the strongest. Mahito, the embodiment of malice and destruction. A direct parallel of Itadori Yuji, one who feels nothing, yet feels everything all at once. He is the leader of the disaster spirits. He is the strongest, because he is human. Mahito has pretty good durability, as the only way to permanently damage him is by striking his soul. This means that all physical damage is simply irrelevant, as Mahito could easily regenerate using his curse technique. Not only is Mahito extremely fast, keeping up with the likes of Itadori Yuji, Aoi Todo, and Nanami Kento, but he's also insanely versatile. Idol Transfiguration, Mahito's technique, allows him to manipulate the soul matter of anyone and anything. This means that he can change the physical property of those he touches, including himself. Mahito's intelligence is genuinely frightening, as if he's a child playing with a new Lego set. And just like a child, Mahito's level of mental growth is unstoppable. During the Versus Mahito arc, Mahito achieved unparalleled progression, achieving the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery, a domain expansion, self-embodiment of perfection. This domain is equally as powerful as Gojo Satoru's, as anybody caught inside the domain is hit by Mahito's Idol Transfiguration indiscriminately. Essentially, as Nanami reflected, it's a one-hit KO, a trump card, a final smash, ultimate and indiscriminate destruction. During the Shibuya arc, Mahito builds off of that and achieves 3 dominant concepts. First, the utilization and grasp of the Black Flash. Just like Itadori Yuji, Mahito is able to discover the essence of individualism, as well as the essence of collectivism. He understands his place in the world and bears no shame in senselessly killing humans, and that's what makes him a true curse, and in turn, human. Second comes the inspiration of Satoru Gojo, a 0.2 second domain expansion. Mahito is able to deploy this rapid domain style to critically injure Aoi Todo and limit the use of his technique. Lastly, the instant spirit body of distorted killing. After making a binding vow to not transfigure his body except for the blades, Mahito's existed 120% is boosted another 200%, creating the pinnacle of his abilities. Had it not been for Yuji's Black Flash and Todo's Bluff, Mahito would have likely ripped the two to shreds in this very form. These 3 abilities form a threat like no other. Mahito's ultimate goal is to eradicate humans, and eradicate humans he will. So how exactly can these 4 curses take down Toji Fushiguro? Well, it's actually pretty simple. First, each of the nature-related disaster curses has to rush with a flurry of their best attacks. For Dagon, it'll be a rush of waves. For Hanami, it'll be balls of wood. And for Jogo, the Ember Insects. That way, Dagon's waves will take full advantage, and the other attacks will not interfere. This should also give a chance for the curses to gauge their opponent's strength, speed, and durability. And while Toji should naturally be faster and stronger than most of the disaster curses, it doesn't stop there. Mahito should always be in close quarters, because not only does he have some of the best fighting stats, but he also can't be damaged unless the opponent has soul damage, which is highly unlikely. Alongside Mahito, Hanami should be there as well, as Hanami has been shown to be skilled in physical fights, as well as having the highest durability among the rest of the curses. Dagon and Jogo are strictly for ranged and support attacks. Dagon should push Toji away or rescue allies with his waves, as well as literally manipulate the tide of battle. Jogo's insane heat can bombard the enemy given spare moments in between fights, and his volcanoes can easily reach speeds of a weakened Nobito, who had the jump on Dagon against Toji. However, the real question is the use of domain expansion. For users of Heavenly Restriction like Toji Fushiguro, domains don't register them as targets, meaning the sure hit technique won't work. That's exactly where the trump card is drawn. Mahito's self-embodiment of perfection. Mahito's domain, like Sukuna's, is indiscriminate. Mahito's domain doesn't target curse energy, it simply targets the soul. Anyone placed inside of Mahito's domain is going to be touched, including Toji. While Toji might be able to process a 0.2 second domain expansion on his own, that might not be the case if he is occupied by 3 other heavy attackers. Toji couldn't even react to Gojo's purple, which characters like Hanami could. Therefore, I say it's a fair gamble that Mahito could deploy his domain, target the soul of Toji Fushiguro within 0.2 seconds, and finish the game. And I know there are people saying that it's easy for Toji to simply deny the domain expansion, but do you think he'd really do that? The same Toji who lost to Gojo simply because of ego. The same Toji that left enemies like Geto alive out of sheer cockiness. Toji is certainly a strong opponent, but his pride and ego limits him. He openly stepped into Dagon's domain as well in the Shibuya arc. He wants the smoke, but unfortunately, the smoke would catch up to him in the end. In short, as long as he gets jumped effectively, Toji loses against the disaster curses. While it's not an easy fight, as some of the curses may be killed, as long as Mahito lands his domain and Jogo is there to finish the job, the disaster curses are taking down the monkey without Jujutsu. But if you disagree, please comment down below because I'd love to hear your thoughts and criticisms. And as always, like and subscribe, and I will see you all later.